Hey everybody, welcome to Meals with Melissa, where I find recipes that are simple and a little bit healthier than the regular version for those of us that want to live a healthier lifestyle but still want flavor and still want some variety and some good tasting stuff. So today we're going to do low-carb French toast. Now I know we've done low-carb pancakes and a lot of other things, but it's important that we really look at what does healthy food contain? Now I find it really fascinating because of course I've done a lot of research and study when it comes to nutrition, and we've still got some old myths and some recommendations I would say are still hanging around. There's a lot of eat less red meat, eat more whole grains, and I'm gonna beg to differ. I've been listening to a really great expert on protein, and she talks a lot about the fact that the older we get, the more protein and the less carbohydrates that we need. So it really comes down to you do not need a significant portion of your food in carbohydrates. As a matter of fact, that is where we're getting all the issues with weight gain and some other things that we're not going to talk totally about today, but yes, that is a problem. So a lot of the recipes that I come up with are very much low carb. I tend to do gluten-free because I do have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So, I'm just choosing healthier versions of things because, I love French toast and I love breakfast. So, you know that I use these recipes first. I try them out. My husband said it was a great option. So we're gonna make it, and it's super, super ridiculous fast. Okay, so I've already preheated my oven to 400 degrees. And I'm just gonna take, honestly, my small Ninja that we use every day, all the time. And I am making a half batch. So the half batch includes half a block of cream cheese. So basically 4 ounces because they come in chunks of about 8 ounces. I'm gonna throw that in my little Ninja cup. And of course you can use, if you have a blender, use whatever. I found that blenders in general, unless it's like a Vitamix, are kind of, they don't work as efficiently as I'd like them to. So I'm gonna throw in that chunk. I'm gonna add to that 4 eggs. So if you really are making for your full family and you wanna make a full batch, again, just double it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna break the 4 eggs just directly right in there. Super easy. Whole eggs. Now, again, I don't recommend low fat for multiple reasons. Number one being if you're low carb, you need to get your calories from some kind of nutrient. So we tend to do a little higher fat at my house and a little lower carb. All right, so 4 eggs. All right, and to that, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of baking powder, just as a little bit of a leavening agent. So half teaspoon of baking powder. I'm just throwing it all in the cup. I'm not mixing it in between. I don't really need to. It takes me 30 seconds max to mix it up anyway. And then I'm also gonna add some cinnamon. Now, if you really wanted a little bit sweeter option of French toast, you could always use some liquid stevia. Not only does that come just in a regular little, and it's not that expensive, and the more that you use it, the more you get used to it and you don't taste that bitter factor. Out of the sugar substitute, stevia is probably your best option because it is not derived from actual sugar like sucralose. It comes from a plant. My opinion's still out a little bit on things like monk fruit, but even things like honey and maple syrup, even if they are full-blown natural, are still sugar and are still gonna spike your insulin and can be a problem. So while you don't really need any extra sweet because honestly, we're just gonna use sugar-free syrup on it. It's something that you can do if you want to. We love cinnamon in my house, so I'm going to use a generous, it says half a teaspoon, but I'm gonna be generous with it because we like cinnamon at my house. Throw that in there. Okay, super simple, right? So now I'm just gonna throw that and blend it together, literally for like 30 seconds, and then throw it in the oven. I've got one in there. Hopefully it's at least far enough along that I can show you what it's gonna look like when you're done. So I'm gonna grab my little bottom piece to it, throw it on my Ninja, mix it for a minute. And of course I have sprayed my tins. Not a huge fan anymore of any sort of vegetable oil. These days I like to use either avocado oil, I don't use canola oil. All of those are what they call polyunsaturated fats, which can actually wreak havoc in your body. Okay. So, mixing that up. And it's gonna be super liquidy, but don't worry, between the baking powder and the eggs, it's gonna fluffen up while you bake them. And even with that block of cream cheese, it didn't take long to mix. So, and I know I still have a few of you that are freaking out thinking, okay, but that's so much fat. Okay, your body treats the macronutrients differently, right? As soon as it hits your stomach, your body starts breaking them down into components and utilizing them differently. And you realize that your body's cells are made up of lipids, which is fat. So again, you really have to kind of stop listening to the old advice because it really wasn't based on research, and really pay attention to the collective information that's coming out from scientists on nutrition today. Okay, so let me see how far along the ones that I threw in there. It takes about 18 minutes-ish at 400 degrees. Now, I actually threw it in a muffin tin because it makes it super simple, bakes up really quick, and then you have individualized portions to go right away. So I'm gonna just give you an idea of what it looks like before I put my next batch in, and that way you can see, because that way we don't take all day. All right, so, they're getting there. So you can kind of see, they just puff up a little bit like muffins. And again, you know, it's a little bit, it's egg, which is good for you, right? Realize the vitamins are in the yolk. You could pull them out, let them sit for a minute, pull them out, put a little bit of put a little bit of butter on it to melt over those hot muffins, and then some sugar-free syrup, and you've got a super easy meal finished within minutes. And this is what my son's eating for breakfast. Have an incredible day, you guys. Hopefully you had a great 4th of July. Next weekend, there will not be Meals with Melissa. I will be in Lake Oswego at a show with my competitors. But the following week, we'll be back to our games. So have a great weekend, you guys.